that's what happens when you get a new camera person, right? But we're at the beautiful Hallberg Palmer Park. I know it's been a while, you know, to my subscribers. This is sort of the next step we want to take with the serve. So I know we've done a serving course. I'll put it in the link below, more on the technical parts of the serve. But today we're going to talk about rhythm. And I feel like rhythm is one of the biggest things on the serve that just gets completely overlooked. Because you can serve pretty well without rhythm, but again, if you want to really have a great serve, this is something you absolutely need. One, for consistency. So rhythm and timing, first of all, this is what you have to understand. Rhythm and timing work together. Okay, there are a lot of players with even great technique on their serve, but because they're out of rhythm, they're out of sync with the ball and their whole body's not working together. Although they might be able to hit a big serve on occasion, they won't really get the great consistency that you see the top players get. And in order to, again, be moving in sync with the ball and have good timing on your serve, that gives you the stability, that gives you the placement, that gives you the accuracy. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. All right, so one thing, and before I go any further, and I'm going to stop this and show you some strategic points of some of the pro serving, and you can even see the difference between Roger Federer and Serena Williams, the beautiful rhythm they have. It's like they're in constant motion. And again, one of the big mistakes on the serve most coaches teach is they call it the trophy position, and I'm a big proponent of here because we talk about the kinetic chain, and that's another, I'll put that in the link below as well. We get everything loaded, right? It's all about, technique is all about coiling and uncoiling properly. So here I get my legs loaded, my core engaged, my shoulder, elbow, and wrist loaded here, okay? But as I mentioned with Federer and Serena, they have this fluidity to it that even if you get loaded here, you have to start, and anytime you stop your motion, you have to restart, in which it becomes jerky and your rhythm goes off. Like I said, rhythm, even though you might be able to hit a big serve. Just imagine a golfer, I'm with my golf club here, I'm lining it up. You've never seen a golfer stop because they have to restart their momentum again. Okay, so one of the big things, even though I do want you to hit this trophy pose where you get everything loaded, is with the flow of the racket, it may slow down here, and it should slow down here, but it never stops. So you see Fed slow down here, right? You see him slow down, but it never stops because you can't lose your momentum. All right, so that's the first thing on rhythm, to be in constant motion and have that constant fluidity. Okay. All right, now we're going to take a look at the great Federer serve. And so you can see, and like I said, I'm a big proponent. At some point, you need to hit this position with all the muscles loaded. But with that being said, there's a natural coiling and uncoiling of your body, of your muscles, all right? And if you were to hold this position, you see Roger, and if you were to hold that still, it takes a lot of muscle strength to hold that very still. And in fact, if you hold that position for too long, you're leaking energy. You're just wasting energy. Instead of going to the ball, you're just straining your muscles to hold that position in place. And it doesn't make sense. Again, the point of technique is maximum energy efficiency into the ball. And so that's why you can see here on his other serves, he's completely fluid and rhythmic, and he slows down, so it's like an optical illusion almost from the backside. But again, he never actually stops completely. He still has that momentum carrying through, and again, when he slows down, it's just part of the winding up and then the coiling and uncoiling. Okay, now we're just going to play a few full speed at an angle, and you can just to see how his racket path never stops. So the question is, how do we get the silky smooth? The question is, how do we get the silky smooth rhythm that we see Federer do, right? Where he drops the racket and he pushes up from here, right? Instead of what I call, and what most players do, and you whipping it around the horn, where I'm whipping it around like this. I want you, first of all, to understand the concept of like the yo-yo, right? When you're going up and down with the yo-yo, you have to time the yo-yo going down and pull it up in a certain rhythm. There's a certain rhythm and flow and cadence to it, where you go down and then up. I'm terrible at using a yo-yo. I probably couldn't do it. But that's the same exact thing with the tennis racket. Because if I was like a baseball pitcher and I'm throwing a ball, well, the ball is in my hand, so it's okay if I whip it around. But much like the yo-yo, where there's a gap between the yo-yo going up and down in my hand, I need to feel the weight of the yo-yo in my hand. And so, much like I hit a serve, when I drop the racket and go up and down, see how I go around this loop? I have to feel the racket weight in my hand. If I don't feel the racket weight in my hand, what I'm going to end up doing is just, again, being unaware of the weight of the racket and just trying to whip my hand through, and I'm going against the natural flow of gravity and the weight in my hand. And I get it, you won't have great rhythm every time, but this is something you can be aware of and practice every single day. I don't know why we didn't take more footage, but again, fast, slow, push. Fast, slow, push. You can see that. Instead of slow, whip it around. Again, slow, whip it around. Alright, that wraps up another preview video. If you found this valuable, make sure to smash on that subscribe button. If you didn't find value, don't worry about it. Alright, so in the online accelerator program, which the link is right just down below, we're going to be putting out many more videos like this. This summer is going to be a big summer for us. I believe the content should almost effectively double or maybe beat by 80%. We have so many lessons in there. And not only is it literally the price of like one lesson, you get like a bunch of stuff, a ton of stuff. You can refer to these back over and over and over again, because I know a lot of the times the concepts, you might hear them once, but they don't really stick until you get a little bit more repetition and hear it again. All right, so stay tuned. Look for the next preview video coming shortly.